Hi, Assalamualaikum. This is a video for my personal assignment for subject Geotechnics 2 BFC34402 with Professor Madia Technologies Dr. Felix Ling Nile, Section 1. So before we start, I'm going to introduce a little bit about myself. So my name is Muhammad Farhan bin Ibrahim, matrix number DF180038, and I am staying at Puchong Permai, Selangor, and currently study at UTHM Johor for Bachelor of Civil Engineering with Honours. So next is about the history of Puchong. As you can see from the slides, for during year 1900, Puchong was known as the rubber estate and mining area, and currently year 2021, Puchong is a developed city. So next, a little bit more detail about Puchong. There are two roads of thought into Puchong's origin, with some claiming that it was once settled by the Orang Asli, which are the natives of Malaysia, while others believe that this place was explored by the immigrants from Java and Sumatra. While there is no record of the time when the first settlers arrived, it was, however, recorded in 1948 that all the settlers in Puchong were moved to a place that was known as Kampung Baru Batu 14 during the communist insurgency, also known as the Malayan Emergency, and the conflict between the British and the communists lasted from 1948 to 1960. And following that, when the settlers moved back to Puchong in the 1960s, the settlers become rubber tappers, fishmongers, and miners. And Puchong was in fact known as the rubber estate town, and demand for the tin created such a strong demand for tin miners that immigrants from China and India were brought in. And this continued for another 20 years down the road until the 1980s, where Puchong did not face much growth. It was a single road lane and snaking its way through the villages and estates. It was only known to the locals as the rubber tapping and tin mining town. And and then around 1985, a blessing in disguise happened. Tin mining license began to expire, and Puchong development began. And once that happened, Puchong finally began to expand in terms of infrastructure. And Puchong then began to flourish into what it is today, with commercial parks, residential areas, and industrial parks being put along the single road that is today called as a Jalan Puchong. Okay, for the next part is I'm going to explain a little bit about type of soil. So we are going to have a look at these three different types of soil, which are sandy soil, clay soil, and loam soil. These three are considered as the basic type of soil. Sandy soil. If you are up some of the soil with your fingers, you will feel it hard, dry, and sandy. And it is easy for the wind to blow sandy soil away. And if you pour water over the sandy soil, the water runs through it quickly and carries away some of the sand. And plants don't grow well in this light colored soil. Clay. Clay soil feels like clay, and when you with this kind of yellowish soil, it sticks together. You can form all sorts of clay like cups and bowls and clay animals. When it rains, clay holds the water for a long time, and the plants that are growing in it get too wet. Loam soil. Loam soil is the best soil for seeds and plants. It does not get too wet or too dry. It has enough food to keep the plants growing. Loam is like a mixture of sand and clay soil. So, loam soil is considered as the best type of soil for the construction because it has enough specification and the best type of soil, and it is usually darker in color. So next is how to classify the type of soil. So Soil classification can be determined based on the particle size by using the sieve analysis method. So as you can see, there are around 5 classification systems: USCS, HTO, MIT, ASTM, and USDA. So by referring from this table, you can see how do we classify it into gravel, sand, fine, and clay. So that is all for my personal assignment video. Thank you for watching.